Hi Robo fans, it's Slamtilt here, and this is a Robocop Ultimate Pro, a table that's already been released this time, but I didn't do a commentary vid to explain a few things that I'd done to the game, and to sort of do a gameplay video as well, so I can actually play it. The author can actually play the game, which is something new, I think. I don't know if VP guys do this. I think they're too busy making the games, but I always set aside a little bit of time to play these games, because that's what it's all about. I mean, I originally started doing this so I could make my own pinball games, so you've got to play them when you put all the time and the effort into making them. So let's get this game started and I'll explain a few things along the way. So this is a mod that I created of Rom's excellent game that he built a few years ago. And obviously I'm a huge Robocop fan, so when I saw it I thought I have to do some work on this game to make it the kind of Robocop game that I personally want myself. I'm in the wrong view as well. That's it. What you just saw there was track the ball view. That's how I normally play pinball. I don't like this static view. This is kind of like playing a real game of pinball where you stood up at one end of it. I like to actually follow the ball around. It just seems more exciting, more dynamic to be the ball. Be the ball. As Bruce Lee would probably say if he was alive and playing pinball today. Right, I had to edit there because I had an interruption, so I'm back into the game again. Sometimes this happens, sometimes you get an interruption during a live recorded broadcast. Such a thing exists. So this is Robocop, and the idea of the game is to complete the light matrix at the bottom of the playfield there by completing the objectives. Now, Defeat Kane is lit, and it's flashing on the DMD, which means I'm in the Defeat Kane mode, which means I just have to hit the left ramp to defeat Kane. Let's see if I can do it. There you go. So Defeat Kane requires you just to hit the ramp several times, and eventually you'll face him and you'll step outside and you'll beat his ass. Other modes are obviously the Robocop and Ed 209 multi-balls. The center shot there is for the nuke bumpers, which is quite a unique rule that I've created for that I've never seen in the pinball game before, where playfield score multiplier starts at 10 and then gradually comes down as the injection of the drug wears off. So that's something that I've never seen in a pinball game before. Now I'm in the pre-multi-ball, so I'm locking balls. So you've got a choice now. This is also a new feature as well. You've got an option to either start Robocop multi-ball or Ed 209 multi-ball. It's player choice. So you can choose right now from which multi-ball you want to start, which I thought was pretty cool. I think most people would go for Ed 209 because it's the widest shot. And it's slightly more fun because during Ed 209 you can hit Ed 209 and fire his guns at you. So these toys were created by Rom, and they're very well done. I added a bit more life to them by adding a bump map texture so the light refracts off them a little bit more realistically. Other modes in this game are the arrest mode, which is the right ramp. So you'll arrest the gang members, Bodica's gang members. As seen in the film, he has a small gang, so you arrest them all, eventually ending with the arrest of Bodica, who will then reveal Dick Jones as the boss, the main guy that you have to kill at the end of the game. So let's see if I can get a multi-ball started here. So I've got a choice now of either Ed 209 or Robocop, so let's see if I can start Robocop. So now we start a multi-ball, and as you can see I've changed the light inserts to red to indicate which are the jackpot shots, which are the ramps. For multi-ball on Robocop, for Ed 209 it's the orbits, I believe. So you've got to hit a certain number of jackpots, which will light the super jackpot Robocop, and that lights the main insert on the bottom of the playfield. Didn't do very well at all. So that's the end of my first attempt. So there's a lot of improvements I've made to this game over the years. I've replaced all the light inserts, made them much brighter. There's colour changing LEDs in the game now. I mean, feature pinball lighting is just so good now, so good.
My targeting system is a little messed up.
but and the flashes look a lot more brighter. It's just a wonderful game to look at, and it's just, I mean, overall, it's just a fantastic game of pinball. In my opinion, is Robocop. It's one of my top games. Not just virtual pinball, but all time. I'll say it's definitely in my top 10 all-time pinball games. I mean, there is a Robocop game in the real world on VP, and it's all right, but it's, you know, it's a very old game with very old rules, very old sound effects and music. It's very dated. So Robocop, this is how Robocop pinball should be. This is as close to the movie as you're likely to get. And of course I added a billboard at the back there, as you can see, which plays movie clips during the game. Now let's switch back to my normal view. I'm just so used to playing in that view that I just can't play as good in this view. I don't know why, but I play much better when I'm following the ball. So that is a Robocop. I forgot to mention one mode, which is the shootout on the scoop, on the Robocop scoop. So you have to arrest at least one villain to start the shootout on the Robocop scoop, which I haven't done yet, but that's pretty exciting as well, because if you miss a shot, you can get damage. So Robocop can take damage, which is where I take small points from the player. And of course there's the Ed 209 hurry up, which is the 20 seconds to reply. Comply. There you go. Now, it's got to be one of the best hurry-ups ever created in a pinball game, I think. Very exciting. There you go. So the music I used for that is actually, I can't remember the name of the band. I think it was a Silver Bullet band or something from the 80s or the 90s, early 90s possibly. And it's actually called 20 Seconds to Comply, is that piece of music, and uses a sample from the film Robocop.
Are you kidding?
I have to do some Google research to find out the name of that band, but I think it's the Silver Bullet Band. It's a pretty good song. It fits perfectly in this game. And this is another thing about this game as well, is the music. It's just fantastic. And this particular mode uses a resampled version of the theme. And when you're creating these old games, when you're doing a search on YouTube for the music, it's always a good idea to search for alternative versions of the theme songs. So there's about 4 different versions of the Robocop theme that I found on YouTube, and that was one of them. I used that for the rapid fire, and that's another great feature in this game, where you have the opportunity to instantly start or finish any lit mode depending on which shot you shoot. So it's kind of like, it's called rapid fire because it rapidly finishes or rapidly starts any mode. I'm not going to get to the final directive, which is to fight Dick Jones, but I did post a video on YouTube of what that actually does. So that's Robocop Ultimate Pro, which is now available on my website, and I haven't finished it yet. I still have a lot of work to do on this game. More modes to add, more movie clips to add. But that's the beauty of Future Pinball, is I can continuously update it over and over again. As BAM improves, my games will improve. And if you're a big Robocop fan, then you should love this game. So go and download it and have fun.